Hey everyone, welcome back to the Workin' Dirt channel, the channel that truly loves to work and get dirty. Now, if you're getting dirty though, and you're starting a new homestead, you're gonna wanna build a temporary mudroom. So you ladies, if you're wondering where you're gonna wash up when you're trying to build that new house, or try to go live off grid, stay tuned. You know, it's so important to be as resourceful as you can when you're balling on a budget to use whatever you can, but making sure that you are also being safe about it. And right here, I want to use a dryer receptacle for our dryer out there in the mudroom. And instead of buying one, there's one right here. We're going to be gutting this whole place. So I'm going to make sure everything looks good. There's no mud wasp, and the wires or terminals aren't bad on the backside. So I'm going to cut this out and see if we can reuse it and save a buck. So single game box, so that'll work good. I'll go get the hammer, pull that off, and do the wire. You never leave home without your 7-in-1 right here. And yes, power is off. Let's see. Cobwebs on. Yeah, not bad. Not bad. Looks good. Looks like we can reuse this bad boy. I just got the fridge put in, and as you can see, we have 10 pounds of crap to stick in a 5-pound sack here. And I'm always caught in the middle between being a jerry-rigger and a perfectionist and still having pride. That's my biggest stress in life. But like I said, I can't stress multiple times, I'm gonna try to keep it as cheap as possible using whatever I got, being safe at the same time. And I gotta level this thing with our farm jacks real quick so that obviously the refrigerant has no issues circulating and the dryer and the washer tumble right. So let's get it leveled right now. Alright, we're opening up the express water filtration system. Hopefully it's not broke. I should have checked it before I left Sacramento. Mock-up is so important. See, as much as you try to plan things, sometimes things just don't appear, you know, as far as obstructions or space to maneuver until you actually set things up. So I'm putting this in place and we'll see what room I have to work with, kind of thing. These things are so cool. This foam tray, I swear I can market these for under the house crawling pads. When I was helping Jeremy plumb the bottom of his house, we slid around on these on our side. And everything about it is perfect. It's got this 2-inch lip, so you can grab it when you're down there underneath. You know, you only have like a couple feet of room. So you grab it and you get on it and you can put your tools in it. But we have two. There's one top and bottom in this box, and you can lay in one and put all your tools in the other, and you keep dragging it. And it was also wet underneath this house, so it actually stayed above the water, kept everything dry, and it's comfortable. It's like 2 inches thick. And even when you go to start working on the pipes, this actual shoulder is nice to kind of prop your head on or your shoulder on. These things, this is very nice. It's a very durable foam. As you can tell, it needs to protect a very valuable piece of equipment here. So this company, there's quite a few, as you can imagine, out there. We chose Express Water because it had great reviews, but it came with gauges and it came with this nice cage. So you can stand this up freestanding, you can hang it on a wall. This makes installation so much nicer. And then it also comes with a clear canister for your sediment, so you can see you know, how bad it's getting. And then they have different versions. They have like just a regular filter system. They have one that's anti-scale. So this middle filter helps produce some type of salt. It's hard to explain, but something to help prevent the buildup of corrosion. And then this is, I think, a carbon-based filter on that side. So it's 1, 2, 3, it goes that way. Oh, and the other one, sorry, Jeremy got the version where the middle one is for hard metals. If you have a lot of metals, his middle filter is for hard metals. And we're gonna see which one works better, because he already has hard water, a decent amount. And I'm sure a lot of people will say there's no getting around it, you need a traditional water softener. But I wanna see, there's a lot of good reviews on this anti-scale filter. And maybe I'll explain that a little later once I reread it. All right, we're up here now on the storage container, and I need to mount this light fixture box. And I was going back and forth deciding whether I want to use a sealant on top of all my fasteners that I put through the sheet metal, or rubber washers. And these are off those washers that are off tech screws. They work really good, and I hate cleaning off goop and sealant, you know, if you ever change it in the future. So we're going to use this to mount the fixture box. And because Tara is over there getting all nested up in the RV, still setting up our office, I'm not going to bother her, and I'm going to see if my little trick works where I grab the bolt and then go underneath, and there you go, tighten it up. And if I'm putting the nut on underneath, it's going to be wanting to spin that way, so I'll put the weight here, and that should allow me to get it on. Well, this is the nicest light I've installed in a place like this, basically a storage shed, and it's LED too. But it really feels good to utilize resources. Extra construction materials. In fact, I think this light was courtesy of Jeremy's house.
That was the $500 kitchen.
Was it?
Yeah.
Oh, it was, huh? Did you want it back?
No.
Oh, okay. I got that one partly tight in there, and they should equally tighten once I put them in here. I really like this True Blue thread sealant. This stuff works really good. One time I was putting a shower arm in, and those shower arms, I think they dull the threads a little bit so that the chrome plating takes better. And so with that, it was hard to seal it, and I made sure that the brass elbow inside the wall was super secure, because I'm always worried of cranking it and breaking it. But I put thread sealant tape only, I put pipe dope only, put thread sealant and pipe dope only, and tightened it really good. Didn't work. Then I switched to this stuff and let it set up a little bit. I forget how many hours I waited, and then it stopped leaking, the actual shower neck. I was so impressed, but I was still worried at the same time. But it does a really good job. It always stays a little flexible. You're supposed to mark the depth, but I have a pretty good eye and a pretty good feel. Alright. Oh shoot. I didn't check the depth this way though. Oh my god, but I think I'm almost perfect. Because I gotta be in line. I'm a fat guy. Let's see. Does that look straight? Alright, here's the hose that we're gonna use. 500 PSI burst rated with a 3/4 inside diameter. That's the hose I'm going to use to temporarily connect to our main, and it's going to kill me to cut it because it's 100 feet, but I'll still get adapters and use the rest of it, but I only need probably 25 feet. So let's see what I can unravel here. Well, the boss pulled me off the job, said I couldn't do overtime, so I think this is worth it though.
Little pie, wine, and
ornament hanging.
doing our Christmas tree.
Yeah. See, you don't need 45,000 square feet in your house. You just need 8.
45,000. 4,500.
Oh, 45,000.
Yeah. What
4,500.
square footage is this trailer?
It's like 11 and a half.
It's more than that.
It's about 140.
I'd give her 2, including like the bed.
If you the floor space, everything is cabinets. There's like
Yeah, but it's still considered square footage.
about,
Because in a house, there's cabinets and closets.
yeah. Well, there's about 10 walking square feet space.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's probably, I know, honestly about 180 probably then square feet. Well, I found out I had finish line fever. It was cold and late, and I cut the wrong side of the hose. The rest of the hose was long, which has the right side of the fitting, the female version. So instead of cutting another portion off and wasting some of that hose, I'm just going to use an extra adapter I have. But it just sucks because this is a nice fitting. It says it takes like a couple thousand pounds of crush force to crush it, which is nice, but accidents happen, so we're gonna resort to this brass one, which isn't too bad, but it's not as heavy duty as the other one. Alright, we got the 200 amp panel shut off, and now it's time to disconnect all the wires, and I have 3 wires I'm gonna connect after to have 3 additional separate circuits to run while we're doing construction. So time to get rid of all these, but look how much the rats ate. I just cut this one, but they ate all the way through a lot of the sheathing in multiple places, and a few breakers were even tripped, which means somewhere in the wall they had eaten. So it's good that we're getting rid of all of this stuff. All right, you see the armpit has been cleaned up. I couldn't wait to do this. It feels so much better. And I just started to run a temporary wire for our 30 amp dryer right here, and then I got this 6 gauge going for my sub panel, and there's the aftermath of all the wires that got cleaned out of here. So time to power up. So I think I missed a little footage, but let's show you the end product. There is the glorious mudroom in all its beauty, and then you can see I worked really hard on the front door. It's got some squeeze clamps on it. It's a very thick, 8mm tarp on it. And if you step right in here, we have our dryer right there. We have a little light switch, an extra cord in case I put a motion sensor light on the outside. Got our shark bite fittings. Like I said, we used everything we had from jobs. I had some PEX pipes, some copper, some PVC. There's our water filter system. And as you can see, we already have plenty of sediment from our well. We've used it a little bit, and our pressure gauges are showing us accurate readings of 52 to 53 psi, which I like very much. Then we got our freezer, our fridge, and our detergents, and of course some more power over here. So this thing will be, when we're done building the house, maybe turn into a shed. We'll put like a wall, we'll build a wall right in here with a door. Maybe use it as like a visitor's check-in booth, in case we turn it back into a campground, which it was before. But yeah, it's working out good. We've already done some laundry in it, and you can see right there, that's where it's borrowing the power from the house, and it's working out good. That's all we have for you on this one, folks. So hopefully, if you're wondering about how you're gonna do your laundry situation at your new spread or land or spot, whatever, you might consider this. And one of the big reasons I did it this way was because of fire prevention. It's all metal, and so I felt a little safer about that, and it was a good deal. And now I can repurpose it later as a shed, like I said. Thank you for your viewership. It helps our channel support veterans, trails, and charities each quarter. So if you can, please drop a like or subscribe, or both. And if you don't like it, let us know why. I'm always curious. Drop a comment. Till next time, do work. I like hanging big balls.